Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Anna with you here in Benidorm by Anna, and welcome back to the latest update on the situation from Spain and our lovely Benidorm region. Let's start with the situation first. First of all, for the last 24 hours, we've had 5,215 new cases, which is slightly more than the amount that we had the previous days. The index is also somehow stuck, I would say, because it's not growing, but it's also not dropping anymore. So we are in the kind of inflection point once again here in our country, and we don't really know what's going to happen from now. Either cases will start growing and the index will start growing once again, or we will stop for some time and then it will continue to drop. Right now the index is 118 for every 100,000 people. In Madrid today they've closed the last medicated hotel, which is so-called quarantine hotel, where people who basically cannot quarantine themselves inside their homes for numerous reasons, or people who come here to Spain and in the airport in Madrid they give a positive result. These are the people who were sent to this hotel. But right now it's closed already, and there are no medicated hotels anymore that act like hospitals, which is a good sign. Also in Madrid, there are some changes regarding the terraces, the bars and restaurants with the open air terrace. What I mean is basically during the pandemics, the local government of Madrid has authorized the so-called COVID terraces, which are basically terraces in places for bars and restaurants where they normally are not. So let's say if a bar or a restaurant does not have an authorized terrace, but the government has put some chairs in place on the accessible areas, just to help them out so that they would be able to open at least for the terrace service. These terraces were able to open until 1 a.m. at night, but right now already the government's decided to open them only until 12. And the official terraces that are being paid for, that are the terraces that own bars and restaurants, are able to open until 1, which Madrid's government and all the syndicates for the owners of these businesses are not happy about, because they don't see any kind of difference of one terrace to the other, because the service is the same. So it's unknown why the government's decided this way, but it is what it is. The next thing about the situation is basically that there will be all the restrictions that we had in the third age homes, which means in the homes where the elderly people are living. All the restrictions are eliminated, so they can receive visits from their family, from their loved ones. They can go home, like for weekend, for example, if they have this opportunity to visit their families. So this is a very good sign, because they were suffering quite a lot. They were locked down and closed for a long time, too long, I would say, without even the possibility to see their loved ones. But once they all have been vaccinated, now it's the time to hug and kiss and stay with their family members, which is a very positive news. The next interesting news that I wanted to let you know about is that our airline companies here in Spain are trying to somehow unite themselves with the train business, with the train companies, Spanish ones basically. Why they are doing this? Well, first of all, it's because here the government wants to delete the short somehow airline ways, the short airline tickets. Basically these are for example airplanes from Madrid to Barcelona, from Alicante to Madrid and stuff like that, which can be substituted with the train, with the high-speed train, and the this way can be done in less than 2.5 hours. This is what they want to do, the government, I mean. And this is why airline companies are trying to get a mutual agreement with the train companies in order to somehow not to lose income and help each other. This was the first problem why they are doing this, and the second reason basically is because here we used to have, even a year ago, we used to have an absolute monopoly for the train service. The only company that was allowed to operate was Renfe, and it's the most popular one. You probably know about it if you've been at least once here in Spain. And what's happening is that starting from this year, it's not a monopolistic business anymore. There are a lot more other new companies that are coming to Spain and are allowed to operate here and offer their high-speed service. For example, it's Ouigo, French company, and the next year there's going to be another company which is called Ilsa, which will also bring their service here in different areas and will offer high-speed trains for less amount of money. This is why both airlines and train service need to come to an agreement for the mutual benefit. The next news, especially very important for our region, as you might all already know, it's what happened with the UK. You know that our president of our Valencian community region, and in general a lot of other regions in Spain who depend basically from the tourism from UK, British tourism, they've been talking with the main ambassador here of the UK in order to somehow minimize the necessary quarantine or minimize the restrictions that we have right now with the UK in terms of tourism. But they've already decided what to do, as you all might know very well. And basically here what is being told is that it's like someone would hit us in the head. It's like someone would pour the ice water on top of us without thinking that this would happen. Like, it's truly unexpected decision from the part of the UK, and they've decided to postpone until the end of July the green light for Spain in general, including the Valencian region. Once again, it doesn't mean that the traveling is forbidden. No, it just means that it's not recommended, which results in some specific restrictions if you're deciding to come here to Spain, which means that when you come here, you don't need to have any kind of PCR testing, you don't need to have any vaccine, nothing at all. From the Spain side, everything is open for you. But once you need to come back to UK, you would need to make the PCR testing, and as well as obligatory quarantine, which as here in Spain they mention can be reduced up to 5 days only if the PCR testing is negative. But still, it's a quarantine of 5 days. Not all people can assume the cost of the PCR, and apart from that, the quarantine, especially if they work. So it was kind of a strange feeling when we got to know that this will be happening and that it's not going to be open and free for everyone to come here up until the end of July. A lot of the hotels were basically planning on opening, especially for the British tourism. These are the hotels of Servi Group, for example, the Calypso, and a lot of different other ones that will be opening at the end of June, like mid-June towards the end, which was basically planned to open exactly for when the UK tourism will be open and available for our region. But since it's not the case, there exists a small possibility, but it still exists, that some of the hotels will postpone their opening for a later time. I still see a lot of the hotels that are closed, and a few of them did not give the date for the opening. For example, one of the hotels that we have here in Albir, which is right near Benidorm, which is Cactus Albir, it still didn't give the opening date. They were preparing something slowly inside. I've seen them doing some maintenance works, but they still don't know when they will open, because in this hotel there's mostly British who come and stay there. So it would all depend on you in general, like on UK. Hopefully something will change and it's going to be opening earlier, but everything shows that no, at least until the end of July, there is not going to be free tourism as we all knew it a few years ago. This is what's happening. I must say that our region still has very, very good numbers. The index here in the region is of 36 for every 100,000 of people. Our region is still thinking to eliminate the obligatory masks on the open air. The nightlife is also opening starting from next week. The Ministry of Health has authorized to open the pubs and nightclubs until 3 a.m. As you might know, the night lockdown will also not exist anymore starting from next Monday. So there is a possibility to open nightclubs and pubs, but our local government has decided somehow to not open it until 3, but only until 2 o'clock. What they say is basically that a lot of people right now who test positive are younger people, although they don't have any like major symptoms, but still they're younger people, and in order to avoid it spreading even more, they've decided to put it for 1 hour less, the nightlife, than it is allowed, which is still something. At least until 2 o'clock people are able to go out and enjoy the nice weather, although not as nice today, I must say. And speaking about the weather, as you can see behind me, there are some clouds. I've already mentioned that by today and Saturday it's going to be raining in a lot of parts in Spain, as you can see on this picture. Today it's going to be on the north part and it's going to be cloudy on the Mediterranean area here. But on Saturday, tomorrow, everything will change and there's going to be rain in the most part of Spain, as you can see in this second map. The good thing about it is that on Sunday, starting from 12 o'clock on midday, it's going to be sunny once again, as nothing ever happened. And the temperatures will also increase quite a lot starting from Sunday. In a lot of parts in Spain, it's going to be more than 30 degrees. And the temperatures, as for now, they are quite stable. And on the north part of Spain, as you can see, it's expected to have between 14 and 23 degrees. In the center, between 22 and 31. In the south part of Spain, between 21 and 30. And Mediterranean area, between 23 and 28. In Alicante, it's expected to have 26 degrees today. In Barcelona, 25. Here in Benidorm, same 25 degrees. In Granada, 30. In Malaga and Marbella, 25. In Sevilla, 31. And Madrid, 28. In Murcia, 26. Balearic Islands, 27. And Canary Islands, slightly less, 23. By the way, tomorrow it will also be raining in Balearic Islands, which are Mallorca, Menorca and Ibiza. So if you're planning to go there, or if you are already there, be careful when you go outside and take the umbrella with you. This is everything that's been happening lately for the last 24 hours here. Must say that people here are not as afraid anymore of virus as we were probably in the beginning of the pandemics. People are willing to enjoy the good weather, enjoy the sunshine when it is available, not like today. Go to the sea, go hiking, enjoying the nature. People are quite positively looking towards the future, and not even pandemics is able to disturb us and stress us out, which is very good. And this is what I'm wishing for all of you. Don't get stressed, don't get disturbed by everything that is happening. Stay positive, because if you stay positive, nothing seems as bad as it is. Thank you all for watching. I wish you a very nice and fantastic day of today, and see you tomorrow with the new video from Benidorm. Bye everyone.